Hello, in this video I'd like to talk about an issue that the community has been vocal about during CitizenCon and after it. It's about the quality and the perceived clunkiness of first-person animations. And during CitizenCon, I think a developer mentioned that they want to accelerate those animations so they get less in the way of gameplay. And I think there's this diagnosing the problem wrong, which leads to a bad fix for the issue. And in this video, I want to show you a better way to preserve the immersion provided by the animations without having it get in the way of the game. Okay, so the first thing that players complain most about is when they have to get into the chair, for example, and all the delays associated with it. So let's check it out. Okay, during this animation, my entire character is completely frozen in place. I cannot move my character, I cannot move my head. Everything is completely in the box. And I think this is what frustrates players, because they lose control over the character. Now, getting it off the chair again. Okay, still no control, and now I get the control back. Now the easy fix that some people might think is to simply speed up the animations. So this annoying part, at least in their view, that annoying part of the game gets compressed to a shorter time frame. But it doesn't fix the problem, it just makes it shorter. And I think that's a bad idea for a fix. Okay, so I got Track IR enabled on my computer. It's a infrared tracking device that tracks head movement. I'm gonna activate it now. Okay, as you can see, I can move my head. I'm going to enter the chair, and you will notice something is different when you use Track IR. The character can move his head anywhere he wants during the animation. Yeah, that wasn't well visible. Let's try it when I get out of the chair. I'm gonna keep my view in a certain direction and see what happens. Okay. See what happened here? At the beginning of the animation, I had my view at an odd angle out of the window, and I tried to follow what I was looking at while my character was turning as far as he could. Before the animation basically locked it off, because head movement can only go so far. And then on the way out of the chair, my character was looking to the top left, and it persisted throughout the animation. And I think that's the key to make an animation feel fluid. So my suggestion would be to not accelerate those animations so they're too fast. What the game should do instead is allow mouse movement. Just like Track IR can move the head, allow mouse movement to have control over the character's view while the player is stuck in those animations, because most of the cumbersomeness of the animations comes from players losing control over the character and losing control over the view. However, if the player still has view control, then I think most of the problem and the frustration associated with it actually disappears. Now let's try ladders. I think with ladders the problem is the most apparent, because technically a ladder would be one of the most immersive ways to get around a spaceship. It doesn't take much space, and it's an efficient way to change floors if an elevator is broken down or something else. However, almost nobody likes using a ladder in this game, and I think it's down to two problems. The view problem, with the view being locked, rigidly locked when you climb up the ladder. You can't move the mouse while you're doing it. The second problem with ladders is that they if a player gets close to it, it is automatically assumed that the player wants to get to the ladder, which means players naturally start to avoid ladders with like a 1 meter radius around them, because I don't want to get magnetically attracted to it just because they're close to it. So I would like to suggest, as usual, the like in the previous ones, have the mouse allow for some movement, and at the same time add a confirmation button. If a player bumps into a lever or gets close to it, he would have to press F or something, just one click, to confirm he actually wants to use the ladder, and he just, instead of just, maybe he just wanted to stand there without actually using the ladder. That would make ladders much more appealing for players. Okay, first let's look at the ladder without Track IR. Okay, fluid so far, but then again, you see I'm moving my mouse right now, but no movement at all. I'm stuck with animation. Going up. Again, from the outside, this would look really fluid, but the character's view is rigidly glued to the ladder. Now let's try same thing with Track IR. Okay, going up. I can move my head to the left, the right. I can even look over my shoulder into the cockpit, seeing the chair over there. As I go up, take a look over there, over here, over my shoulder. I can even look up to some extent, but not too much. I think this already makes the ladder much more engaging to use. Here I can go down. The vertical view could use some extra freedom, but looking over the shoulder like that, I think that's really immersive, and I think it makes ladders less intimidating to use right now. I'm going to go up all the way and look up the hatch. Okay. See if something's waiting for me upstairs or not. Go up. And I think that makes a really great case for having slow ladder animations and keeping them immersive by allowing player mouse view control, like on the Track IR, instead of just making the animation really fast and snappy. Oh, one more example in the Hammerhead, which has one of the slowest chair entering animations in the entire game, I think. So let's see how this one looks with Track IR. See that? How I kept my view towards the co-pilot seat during the whole animation, and it felt completely fluid the way it didn't rock my character's view back and forth to the front of the ship like the original animation. I'll get out of the chair. Again, looking at the co-pilot. I was in control of the character view for the whole time, which I think makes a really smooth experience, which again is another proof that animation speed should not be the solution to make an animation feel less annoying. Just player control over the view should be retained. So now we are in Mirror's Edge 2, which, I'm not sure if you know the game. It is a game where you play a woman that is a courier in a futuristic city, and she can run and climb over things. And it's a really well animated game. And I think other games could have their animations improved a lot by taking a look how Mirror's Edge 2 does it. Okay, let me show you this. Okay, see now my character is holding on, and I can use my mouse over here, look around. Okay, switch over to this side, look around. I'm doing all of this with the mouse without any Track IR. And even when I'm moving around the edge. I can still look where I want to go. Look up, so switch the side, I can look over here. I can even look backwards when I'm going this direction. Another cool thing I would like to show you is the following. Again, getting into the chair. See, I was looking I was looking upwards with my head movement with Track IR, and the game respected my character's intent to look in that direction while the animation was playing. Keep turning Track IR off for a moment. Okay, now we all know the Mobiglass can get annoying if you have to use it often. So I'm going to just use it a few times without Track IR. It's kind of smooth, but it still takes you out of the game a lot. So it's really that fun. Now let's try the same thing with Track IR. Okay, I'm looking in a weird direction. Happens. See that? The good thing about Track IR, you can look left, right, down. You still interact with the mouse using the thing. Click on stuff. Scroll. All the user controls. Even head tilt works with it, as long as in a chair. And like with the chair animation, if I use a mouse in a certain direction or look at a certain direction, you can even see the stuff on MFD. I can turn the Mobiglass on and off without me losing control over the character. See how fluid this feels. Now this not the most ideal example, because if you don't have Track IR, obviously you only have the mouse as an input device, so you cannot use your mouse to look around on the Mobiglass. You have to use it for navigating the object. But this is just to prove the point that any animation in this game can be fun and immersive. They just have to give the players some control back over the mouse movement, about the view movement with the mouse. Just like Track IR does it. They only have to do what Track IR allows already, just to do the same thing with the mouse, and it would evaporate most of the problems with animation timings and the perceived feeling of them getting in the way of stuff.